My name is Muhammad Athallah Khairi as Prime Minister.
My name is Qarina Wanda Salsabila as Deputy Prime Minister and Government Whip.
I'm Satria Amadeus Indraputra as Member of Government.
Hello, my name is Immacullata Libby Danielli as Leader of Opposition.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Refano Yamarizky as Deputy Leader of Opposition.
Hello, my name is Matthew Reynard, and my role is as the members of opposition and opposition week. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As a Prime Minister from the government bench, I'm going to state that we're supporting the motion that we're supporting the motion that using an influencer advertising has a negative impact for the local brand's growth. But before, I'm going to state another argument that me and my team has already formed before. I'm going to I'm going to define the definition of the influencer advertising and the local brand. So influencer advertising, actually the promotional strategy that businesses collabing with the social media personalities or influencer that have their own community or audience that could endorse their products or their service or promoting their product and their service also. And local brand refers to small to medium scale businesses that operate in Indonesia. So now I'm going to state the main argument that me and my team has already discussed before. So first of all, that influencer advertising actually costs a lot of budget and the return of investment is often low. So sometimes when we hiring an influencer to advertise our products or our service, sometimes the businesses or the local brands that are still growing give a lot of money to hiring this social media personalities, this influencer. So but sometimes the impact is not really beneficial to the brands because sometimes it's just the audiences that this influencer has is very niche. So when the local brand that still growing should spend a lot of budget to hiring this macro influencer who has this audience, but in reality it's not really a good things for the businesses for the local brand that are still growing. And the second argument is that sometimes the influencers may risk a reputation issue for the brand or for the businesses that they own. So, because sometimes the influencer or this social media personalities is contribute in some of controversies or some scandals that could ruin the brand image of the businesses or the brand value itself. So I don't think our team don't think that hiring the influencer could be a great idea because sometimes it causes the issue for the brand image that the local brand are still gaining this issue for the brand image itself. But when they already cost a lot of money, but they hiring the influencers that ruin their brand image for the business. And the third argument is that sometimes influencer have an issue in the messaging in their own platform because sometimes this influencer has their own style to promoting or to deliver a message in their platforms, and they have a different each of them has a different style for the promoting style or the deliver in their platform. So sometimes the message that they deliver in the social media is sometimes oversaturated. Some people who look into the social media platform of this influencer feel that the promote or the advertise of this influencer may have an issue that it feels like less genuine and harming the brand trust and growth from the businesses. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for everyone that giving us time to speak. And I'm the leader of the team opposition, and I'm here with my team to present the other side of the motion. All right, the government team have some points, but we believe that we have important issues and concern that to be considered. In this debate, we will explain why this proposal might not work as planned with clear reason and example. We look forward to a fair and discussion with our opponents. An influencer is basically someone that inspire and give their thought through the social media. They understand how to make the marketing tricks, how to gain the followers, and also keep with the latest trend. And they create content for personal and promotional at the same time. And also, they build in the community with common interest to get the likes, comment, share, and of course the subscribes, and to boost the engagement. And they also build the boost of the promotion of marketing products because they can reach so many people by online, by the phone. Influencers have become a big deal in Indonesia. Officially, of course, in Indonesian's industry. They're growing super duper fast. In fact, in Indonesia, is predicted to have top 5 the most influencers in the world in 2024. With around 863,000 creators and about 3.6% of all influencers globally. They're posting million pieces of TikTok, IGs, and YouTubes. The influencers marketing business is also rising value, but some of it are still not sure about spending too much for influencers. They choose AI marketing because it's the cheapest one. And I'll give you the information by the data of influencers' incomes. Influencer incomes with 500, the most likely still got under 2 millions. And for the highest followers, for example, influencers' income with 1 million followers or more, they gain around 15 to 16,000 million. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker. Before I continue with my own arguments, I want to respond to the points made by the leader of the opposition. The opposition mentioned that Indonesia has one of the largest influencer populations in the world, with hundreds of thousands of creators and millions of content pieces posted every day. And because of that, they argue that influencers are an effective and essential marketing tool for local brands. First, when there are too many influencers, the content becomes overcrowded. Millions of posts every day make it extremely hard for small business to stand out. The more influencers there are, the more competition local brands face just to get basic visibility. especially when bigger brands can afford to hire the most popular creators. Second, a large influencer population does not guarantee quality or trust. Many creators post sponsored content daily, which makes their content not reliable. Third, even opposition admits brands switch to AI ads since the marketing with influencer is not really that effective. So it's actually a plus for our side that the opposition side said that brands switch to AI ads. Now that I'm finished with my response to the opposition argument, I'm gonna tell my argument. For the first argument is influencer advertising reduces customer trust. Local brands rely heavily on trust and they make it, therefore, it's skeptical for the customer now. Influencer promote many products at once, so it makes the audience is confused where to believe, which one is really good, which one is bad. And then the third is followers question authenticity because what I said before, it's because too many content creators, because too many posts, so audience is seeing them as like more like a formality. And then lower trust harms small brand the most. So because all of the reasons, now local brand is more at harm because they paid a lot but they didn't get what they expect. And then my second argument is dependency trap. Small brands rely too much on influencer for attention and not strong brand identity or community. And then influencer only make short-term spikes, not long-term growth. When influencers stop posting, the brand will disappear. And for my conclusion, having many influencers doesn't mean effectiveness. Reality, they are oversaturation, low trust, and unstable results. Thank you.
The claims that influencers are expensive and pose high reputational no longer reflects the reality of how local brands operate. Brand no longer depends high micro-influencer while increasing using micro and nano-influencers. And right now it's more affordable with higher engagement and more relevant audience. Reputational risk can be managed with careful screening, ethical contract, and long-term collaboration, which was standard the industry right now. What the government present is an inherent flaw of influencer marketing, but strategic that can be addressed. Influencers create unrealistic standard or overshadow local brands to the point that they cannot complete. It means that's not aligned with the real market, and then does not reflect how digital ecosystem today. In reality, influencers operate with a diverse, competitive environment. Trust matters far more than dominance. Local brands are pushed out. Instead, they surgically partner with influencers who credibly match their values. Aligned with the opening opposition's emphasis on the power of community, engagement, and trend awareness, we add that influencers offer something traditional, marketing often lack. Direct exposure to everyday conversation, cultural cues, and audience behavior. Because influencers interact with their followers, certainly through comments, live session, and daily content. They understand what resonates, what feels authentic, and what people care. This allows local brands to adjust their messaging, product positioning, and creative direction in a way feel more relatable and culturally aligned. In this sense, influencers not just amplify content, but collaborative partner who help brands stay relevant and connect to the shifting preference of their community. With this point in mind, it becomes clear that influencers do not hinder the growth of local brands. Instead, they offer cost efficiency, visibility, and strategic insight that are crucial in today's competitive digital environment. For this reason, we finally oppose the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. As the third speaker, I'm introduce new arguments to the discussion to support our position. My first argument is about market distortion. Influencer advertising has become a pay-to-play environment, which means the big brands, especially big brands with big budgets, it's more visible in the feeds rather than the local brands because they can afford expensive influencers. In the data, we're talking about the data, Influencer Advert Hub reported in 2024, the rates for endorsement, it's increasing 45% in Southeast Asia. It affects micro and macro influencers too. The second one is the short-term hype. It means influencers' content does not last long. The data tells Hype auditors in 2023 data, the average lifespan of an influencer content does not last long. It only 1 until 3 days. After that, the engagement is down rapidly. Study also shows retention influencer campaign is below 10% for small brands. It shows that these 2 points, influencer advertising does not create a healthy environment for the local brand growth. It limits their visibility and only provides the short-term results. That is why influencer advertising brings negative impacts to the growth of the local brands. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much for the insightful from government bench. But first, I want to tell that the government bench needs to open their mindset and clear about the motions today, that this house needs to know that influencer advertising for local brands to grow having a bad or a negative impacts. But for us in the opposition bench, claiming that this is not true because especially influencer advertising is the one that boosts the growth of the local brands or the SMEs. There is several reasons. The first one is that coming from the government bench, that the government bench claiming that the pay-to-play or the market distortions is affected from the influencer advertising, but this is are fundamentally wrong and false because this is ignores the existence of niche market. We all know that the niche market is the more specific way to us to more relatable to connect with the right market in the right platform with the right person. So we need to know that the niche market is some points that we can afford by this influencer advertising, not the traditional advertising. And the second point, that local brands shouldn't be competing for visibility in the same arena with the big other big brands. I'm sorry, because the government bench said that the big brands always win. Not always win. If the local brands having the different arena with the big brands that have the settlement Because I want to remind you that local brands, not every local brands having the settlement or maybe having the resources that the government brands has said. So it's just about the marketing strategy. It's about the positioning that we need to know the arena for the local brands itself. And the third point that the government brands said, influencer as advertising is just a short-term hype. And actually, that's the point of this debate because we know that influencer advertising, there's a lot of functions of the utilizations of that. And some of it is to having the peak of short-term hype because we know that the function of advertising is one of them is to make people unaware to people that aware about the brand, about the products that the local brands are selling. So that's why this is not just about the faults of the influencer advertising, but it's also need to know about the own media and the quality of operations that the local brands has implemented to their local brands. For example, if the own media like email, the nurturing, the headhunting, or the product innovations that also needs to be maintained to having a great output from the advertising itself. And the fifth one is about the operationals. For example, if the people or the local brand didn't know about the lacking of their products, so as many as the advertising that you give to this product, it will not be affected your conversion, your sales, or the loyalty of the people, of the customers towards your local brands, even though you're having a macro influencers. So the things that we need to know is about the market segmentations, and then about the operational excellence, and of course the expectations towards the influencer advertising, because influencer advertising helps the local brands to grow from people that are unaware to aware with that local brands. And I want to ask the government brands, what is the solutions if the influencer advertising is giving the negative impact towards the local brands to grow? Is it traditional advertising or what? And I expect the great answers towards these problems. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Speaker. As the final speaker of the government side, I will respond to the member of the opposition and explain why influencer marketing still harms local brands. First, the opposition says our pay-to-play argument ignores niche markets. But the issue is not segmentation. The real problem is that the influencer space is overcrowded and algorithm-driven. Even in niche areas, creators with the highest engagement dominate visibility. Small brands may choose the right niche, but that does not guarantee they will be seen in such a saturated environment. Second, the opposition claims influencers are only responsible for acquisition always happens, which is not true. A short spike of attention only matters if people care enough to engage. And most followers scroll through influencer content without remembering it, so the spark influencers provide is often too weak for local brands to turn into real growth. Third, they argue brands should convert that attention through own media, email lists, loyalty programs, CRM, and so on. But this is are unrealistic for local brands. Big companies have full marketing teams. Small brands don't. This being them to fix attention and ignores the limits they face after spending money on influencers. Now, my own point, influencer content is highly repetitive. Unboxing, quick reviews, try-ons. When every brand is promoted in the same style, they all start to look the same. This homogenization makes it even harder for local brands to build a unique identity and stand out in the market. To conclude, the opposition's arguments rely on ideal conditions that don't match real challenges filled by local brands. The influencer ecosystem is expensive, saturated, unreliable, and weak in belief in helping long-term growth. This is why we firmly believe influencer marketing brings negative impacts to local brands. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speakers, for the opportunity. And I'm, as the opposition whip, wants to remind that what the government's whip said, that the influencers are do not knowing or aware about the real challenges. But I want to remind you that the influencers are the real people that are knowing from scratch, from the below part of the of this marketing of the algorithm of the platform itself. So I want to tell you that the influencers also knowing that that real challenges or the real problems from the platform itself are they are experienced it before, and that's what made influencers are more reliable and relate with nowadays challenges, especially on the advertising on this digital era. And I want to be more precise about this, that we are now at the digital era 5.0, that everything on advertising, especially on advertising and marketing, are now reliable towards the social media and the digital platform. So if you are still using the traditionals of advertising, then we are still behind all of the countries or the modern city that are now more reliable on the own media or maybe the social media, that one of it is coming from the influencer advertising. And one more thing that we need to know, that influencer advertising from the definitions is to having a collaborations to endorse the product or services. And we know that the marketing funnel or the last part of the funnel is about advocating. That we know that the influencers are the advocator of your products. So the influencers are having the advocates, the testimonials towards your product. So if your products are then not having the excellence of operations, then your product are not worth it to be promoted or advocate by the influencer itself. So the people or the part that are missed is not about the influencer, but it's about the operations of the local brand itself. So that's why we are coming from the opposition team still be committed that influencer advertising are not giving negative impact to local brands to grow. Why? Because there are 6 reasons that I want to comply here. The first one is that influencer advertising cannot do it all it alone, because it also needs the support of the operational excellence of the brand itself, especially the local brands and SMEs that still on the grow journey. And the second reason is influencers are the people that knowing the real challenges, the real algorithm, and the great strategy towards your products if you using the influencer advertising. And the third reason is a lot of type of influencer coming from a different niche, different market, different personality, or even coming from different range of rate, coming from micro into macro influencers. So there's a lot of options. The fourth one is influencers is the advocator. So advocate your product, it's the best things in marketing funnel. The fifth reason is we need to know that the growth of the local brands, it also can be facilitated from the people that coming from unaware to aware with your local brands. So your local brands still growing from that. And I want to close it with the sixth reason. There's a lot of people that are using influencer advertising nowadays. So if the influencer advertising giving bad impact to local business, to local brands to grow, why there's a lot of numbers that people using this influencer advertising rather than using the traditional advertising. And that's why we as the opposition team back again want to commit it that influencer advertising are not giving negative impact to local brands to grow. Thank you so much.